Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a really stark, super realistic framework from entrepreneur and investor Dan Martell. It's all about how to actually survive and thrive in the rapidly shifting AI economy of 2026. Look, the rules of the game have entirely changed, so we're going to visually map out exactly what's working right now, and maybe more importantly, what is failing miserably. So let me ask you a question. Are you feeling a little overwhelmed by the endless sea of internet fake gurus pushing all these outdated models? You know the ones I'm talking about. The drop shipping schemes, basic affiliate marketing, or the low-level data entry stuff that promises you'll get rich quick right from your laptop? Are those traditional side hustles actually dead in 2026? Well, Dan Martell doesn't pull any punches when he answers that. He says, and I quote, "They're all full of shit. Those things don't work in 2026, especially not in the new era of AI." Wow, right? If you're feeling frustrated by all the noise out there, this explainer is basically going to serve as your ultimate no-nonsense filter to separate the hype from what actually generates real revenue today. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the AI era reality check. Second, bucket 1, the trash pile. Third, bucket 2, easy quick wins. Fourth, bucket 3, medium skill retainers. Fifth, bucket 4, the hard empire. And finally, avoiding shiny object syndrome.
Section 1. The AI era reality check. Filtering the noise.
Bucket 1, the trash pile. The AI revolution demands a completely new playbook. And honestly, before we can even look at the real opportunities, we have to ruthlessly identify and filter out the traps. In this first bucket, it's not just about losing money. It's about wasting months of your precious time on business models that are literally dead on arrival. Take a look at this list. NFT flipping, the hype is completely done. Crypto and day trading, look, unless you are deeply obsessed with it, it is way easier to lose money than to make it. Multi-level marketing is essentially just a scheme where you pay to recruit, you aren't building a real business. And here is where AI has truly laid waste to the old side hustles. Basic captions, subtitles, and low-level data entry. AI tools have just replaced this work entirely. Trying to build a business in these crowded, hype-driven, or completely obsolete markets is exactly like trying to drive a car across the ocean. You're going to drown because you're using the totally wrong vehicle. Now, what's really interesting about this is the 3-step framework it gives you to protect yourself. Dan calls this the trash filter, and I highly recommend you run literally any business idea you have through these 3 simple questions. Number 1, is AI already replacing this? Number 2, is the industry shrinking or going obsolete? And number 3, is it easier to lose money than to make money? If you answer yes to any of these, drop the idea immediately and move on. Bucket 2, easy quick wins. Now, this bucket is the absolute perfect starting line for beginners who just need to gain some momentum, figure out how working with clients actually functions, and most importantly, get that very first dollar online quickly. Let's ground this in reality for a second by looking at the metrics. We are looking at a highly realistic income potential of $5,000 to $10,000 a month. The difficulty is low because it relies on simple skills and really fast turnarounds. You don't need some specialized degree for this. In just 30 to 60 days, you can execute, talk to customers, and actually get paid. It's all about building that initial confidence. So, what actually fits in this bucket? Think high-demand services like basic short-form video editing, social media copywriting, or maybe setting up AI chatbots and AI receptionists for local businesses. You could also act as a middleman, connecting brands with user-generated content creators, or work as a virtual assistant, basically giving busy people their time back. Take Dan's friend, Mark, for example. Mark had absolutely no background or experience. He simply went up to companies and offered to use AI to turn their long-form content into short clips. Because he made it a repeatable, really fast process, Mark now earns $30,000 a month with just 7 clients. That is huge. But to really succeed in bucket 2, you've got to make a fundamental shift in how you operate. You have to stop selling your time and start selling a specific outcome. This is the old, broken way versus the new, profitable way. You must map your offer directly to a customer's specific pain point. Are you helping them make money, or are you helping them save time? To get them to say yes, you make a specific promise, you remove their risk with a solid guarantee, and you create a bit of urgency by limiting the number of clients you take on. Bucket 3, medium skilled retainers. This is where you really step up. This bucket is meant for those who've developed some real skills and want to graduate from just knocking out simple one-off tasks to solving much larger revenue and growth problems for businesses. So the crucial point is how the metrics shift here. Your income potential jumps to a minimum of $10,000 to $50,000 a month. Now, the difficulty is medium. It requires multi-skill work, and it's probably going to take 3 to 12 months to really build. But it offers incredible stability. By tying your pay to real business outcomes, the rewards become massive. Dan shares this amazing story about Sam, a member of his media team. Sam didn't just sit around asking for step-by-step tasks. He took total ownership of a major project outcome. Because he delivered on that big outcome, Dan literally bought him his dream car, a Porsche GT4. That right there is the power of solving bigger problems. So here are the vehicles for bucket 3. We're talking about building automation agencies, driving AI-powered LinkedIn growth for CEOs, creating micro SaaS tools that charge a monthly fee, running AI content agencies, or acting as a high-quality motion graphic designer. Let's look closely at that last one for a second. You see, AI can handle all the heavy lifting and high-volume basic editing today, but your premium skills, like mastering Adobe After Effects to make things look truly professional, that becomes the highly paid separator that clients will gladly pay a premium for. If you want to conquer this medium bucket, you absolutely must follow these 2 pro tips. First up, build 3 to 5 measurable case studies. Seriously, if you have to, do the first few at a steep discount just to get the data to prove you can deliver the goods. Second, and this is absolutely critical, sell outcome-based monthly retainers. Never ever sell one-off projects. Doing this creates predictable, recurring revenue, and make sure you don't fall right back into that trap of just trading your hours for dollars. Bucket 4, the hard empire. All right, this is the final bucket. It is reserved strictly for the long-term thinkers, who aren't just looking for a high income, but who actually want to build something vastly bigger than themselves, an actual asset or a true empire. Let's ground ourselves with these staggering metrics. Income potential here can absolutely exceed $1 million a month, but the difficulty is exceptionally high. It requires complex systems, profound leadership, and capital. The time horizon is long, too. We're talking anywhere from 2 to 10 years or more. But for empire builders seeking true enterprise value, meaning building a company that someone else might actually write a check to buy, the returns are entirely life-changing. These are the heavy-hitting plays. You're investing capital into AI-first founders, building dedicated AI software products, using a personal brand as a giant content machine for deal flow, running AI-curated subscription communities, or licensing your proprietary AI playbooks to other corporations. One of the most fascinating examples here is buying and automating small businesses. Dan's friend Jason literally bought a boring 1980s-style campground. He went in and implemented AI-powered booking, management, and maintenance software. And now, that completely automated quote-unquote boring business absolutely prints cash. Building an empire requires a meticulous blueprint. Step 1, tie your strongest skill to a fast-growing industry. Step 2, systematize your service. Step 3, build a small team very slowly. Look, the first 12 people you hire are going to dictate your success. Step 4, aggressively layer AI into your operations to boost those profit margins. And Step 5, use content creation to generate inbound deal flow. Now, this isn't overnight magic, okay? Dan himself references his own brutal 7-year grind, starting out as a 17-year-old programmer before he finally built enough traction to sell his company at age 28. It takes immense dedication. And this brilliantly illustrates our final point. Section 6, avoiding shiny object syndrome. Listen, you can understand every single bucket perfectly, but none of it matters if you fall into the ultimate trap. Constantly switching buckets every few weeks or months destroys more online businesses than a lack of skill ever could. Every time things get hard, people just hit reset, moving from one shiny new idea to the next, and they never gain any real traction. Look at this number. 1,000. This right here is the antidote. To succeed, you need to visually anchor yourself to this number and commit to 1,000 days of unbroken focus on just one bucket. Pick one course and follow it until you are successful. And while you do it, document your journey in public. Building in public holds you accountable because, hey, the world is watching to see if you'll actually stick to it. We leave you with this provocative final thought from the source material. Winners lose more than losers by definition of being a winner. Don't do shelf help. Show up and do. It's time to make a hard commitment right now. Look, sticking something out long enough to see it fail can be totally demoralizing, but staying in the game is literally the only way to eventually win. So, out of everything we've looked at today, which bucket are you going to choose? And maybe more importantly, will you stay in the game long enough to actually win?